Ready. Play.
Oh, this is a can of Vimto. And if Vimto want to sponsor the show, you're more than welcome to get in touch. And I'm going to tell everyone how beautiful this drink is. Refreshing, cutting the thirst, and sparkling fruit, all in a can of Vimto. Okay, let's go for the US Open Men's Singles 2025. Does exactly what it says on the tin. Now listen up. Oh, just before I start, make sure you join our Fantasy League on the TNNS app. There will be explanation in the description below, but you can also comment below if you've tried to join the league and haven't managed to do so. Round one, Jannik Sinner, Vit Kopriva, whatever. It doesn't matter because you won't be now needing to pronounce the name for very long because Jannik Sinner is going to win that encounter and he's going to play Alexei Popyrin in round two. Now there are previews for both of those matches already up on the channel, an extensive preview, so do check those out. Let's go for Bu over Royer. Let's go for Shapovalov, Mr. Consistency himself, to beat Marton Fucsovics. Of course, it's I think in the Winston-Salem final, I believe, after the withdrawal of through sickness today, Sebi Korda. Okay, let's go with Bublik over Cilic, Sonego over Skulkate, Borges over Holt, and Tommy Paul over the backhand magician Elmer Muller. Lorenzo Musetti and Pecci Pericard. And Pecci Pericard, I think, is going to win that. By the way, all of these matches will at some point be extensively reviewed on the channel, so do check those out. And by the way, get in the comments below in case you disagree with any of my picks. Or maybe you agree and you want to comment on that too. Let's go for Quinton Hallis over David Goffin, but honestly, as I said earlier on an extensive preview, I really don't have a clue. We'll go for Brooksby over Vukic. So we have our first qualifier placed, which is the Italian Passaro, and he's going to be coming up against Flavio Cobolli. As you can see here, I have gone for Cobolli to win that all-Italian affair. Diallo, I think, is playing some good tennis right now, so I do see him overcoming Jamur. We do have an extensive preview for that. If not on the channel right now, I think it's coming up in the next few hours. Jaime Munar as well is in pretty good form. Going to be playing Jaime Faria, actually, who lost earlier on today, but as a lucky loser, will enter the draw. Once again, Faria in a Grand Slam main draw, just like he was in Australia, of course, and the French Open, I believe, too. Of course, he lost to Novak in Novak Djokovic, that is, not Dennis Novak, in Australia, but he put up a good fight there. In Melbourne, but I do think, actually Munar and Faria played earlier on this year on the clay in Rio, I believe, and Faria won, but I'm going to go for Munar. He's enjoying the North American hard courts this season. Remember that run he had in Dallas. So we'll go with Munar over the friend of the show. I've gone with Seng over Zizou Berg. Zizou Berg's form right now is really scratchy. We've got Jack Draper, who's coming up against Gomez, the Argentinian, who is the qualifier he's coming up against. So yeah, Draper will win that one, I think, fairly comfortably. Zverev, I see him having few troubles against Tavillo in that encounter. That's a real David versus Goliath scenario, I think, especially given Tavillo's patchy form, at least this year. Roberto Bautista Agut, I think he'll beat the Brit. Jacob Fernley, I think experience there should see him through. We'll go with Safiullin. He's generally likes fast courts. Wouldn't say they're that fast in New York, although we do need to see how the first couple of days progress. But I think he'll beat Monfils. I'll have Felix Auger Ali Assim as well. He's going to be playing the Brit, Billy Harris, in the first round. But we'll go with Felix to win that one. Ugo Humbert, another guy who likes quick courts, big serving. As I said earlier, I don't know how quick they are, but I think they're quick enough for him to get the win over Adam Walton. Kovacevic, by the way, is going to be playing Coleman Wong. That's an interesting one. It's a good qualification there for Coleman. He won his match today, so he's in the main draw, and deservedly so. And I'll go for Kovacevic, though, I think, to overcome him. We've got Tristan Boyer coming up against Duckworth. We'll go for the American on home soil. Rublev against Prismic. That's a really interesting one. I do see Prismic offering a decent battle. I think his game style can maybe get under Rublev's skin, but probably, I think it was Damien said to me earlier that he didn't think Prismic may be durable enough. So especially if it goes 4 or 5 sets, Rublev probably to emerge. Hatchanov, by the way, again playing some great tennis, Mr. Reliable, Mr. Consistency, been in a US Open semi-final before. I see him having a good run in New York. Do check out, by the way, the power rankings that Brenner and I produced where we both had Hatchanov pretty comfortably in our top 10 anyway, going into the tournament. So he'll definitely beat Basavaredi, definitely. Hugo Dellien, very much a clay court specialist. I know Myshak likes the clay as well, but he's been getting some good wins on the hard courts of late. Pedro Martinez is going to be playing... Oh, Reedy. That's an interesting one, Leandro Reedy. So the Swiss. Let's go with Reedy to win that. Yeah, Martinez, hard court, doesn't work. Okay, Cerundolo, I think, will beat Arnaldi. And... Stefanos Tsitsipas doesn't really like New York even when he's in good form. Right now he's in bad form. Let's give him a win. He needs it. He needs it. Medjedovic will beat Altmaier, I think. Medjedovic, of course, played recently in Cincinnati against Carlos Alcaraz. Was feeling a bit poorly, I think, during that match, but he's obviously doing fine now, I think, in terms of his health. And yeah, he should get some wins. Gaston, by the way, is going to be coming up against the Japanese Mochizuki. Let's go with Gaston there. We'll go with De Minaur, again, another super, super reliable, consistent guy. Obviously winning the title in Washington earlier on during this North American swing. Oh, Novak Djokovic, learn a team. Novak Djokovic to win in 4 sets. But honestly, this could go 5, and then who knows. Couple of qualifiers going to be coming up against each other next. So that's Svajda against Piros. Piros, I just saw, actually fell to the ground upon winning his qualifying match. But Svajda on home turf. I see him emerging the winner there. And because he's above Piros on my computer, I'm guessing that one is him. Cam Norrie against Sebi Korda. Sebi Korda just withdrew, by the way, from Winston-Salem. But again, I think it might be with the US Open in mind. And I think he's good enough to beat Cam Norrie. But that could go the distance. And if it does, maybe Cam's lungs will come into play. We'll go for Mickelson over Comisano. I don't really fancy Comisano on a hard court that much. And Mickelson, I do. Francis Tiafoe loves the New York. He'll progress. Darwin Blanche is going to play a qualifier. Let's see who it is. Oh, another American, Dam. Let's go with Dam to beat the American wildcard, Darwin Blanche. We've also got Jan-Lennard Struff qualifying, winning today in straight sets. Great to see Jan-Lennard again in a Grand Slam main draw. I think I saw something on social media about 44 slams in a row, but I don't know if that's true. Do let me know in the comments below if that isn't. He's going to be playing McDonald. I think McDonald will emerge the winner. I do fear a bit for Jan-Lennard at the moment. I do think we're probably in the sort of twilight of his career. But Jan-Lennard, prove me wrong. I love the guy. Holger Rune will beat Botic van der Zandschulp. I don't see Holger having the same issues that he had in the first round a year ago when he lost to Nakashima. Botic is doing pretty well in Winston-Salem as well, but not sure that'll have any great bearing on this encounter. Jakub Mensik, Nicholas Jarre, really interesting one. This one could go the distance, but we'll go with Mensik to prevail. Marozsan is going to be playing... Oh, Blanchett. But Marozsan's going to win that one. We'll go Fonseca over Kecmanovic. We know that Fonseca can have issues with big servers. There is also a full and extensive preview of this match coming up on the channel, so do check that out. Oh, by the way, do hit that like button. And of course, subscribe if you're new. Oh, you want some merchandise? We've got Talk and Tennis merchandise for you too. Do check that out. I think there's probably somewhere you can find it. Yeah. Okay, Luca Nardi against Thomas Machac. We'll go Machac, the 21 seed, to win that. Nakashima, aforementioned, he is going to be playing Jesper de Jong. Okay, interesting. De Jong coming through qualifying. We'll go with Nakashima win that. I think de Jong generally prefers the European clay as well, like I mentioned with a few others. Ethan Quinn against Kim. Kim winning in straight sets today, and the Swiss celebrated with a piece of cheese and chocolate. Maybe that's not true. But he certainly didn't seem to be overwhelmed. There was no falling to the floor and celebrating like it was the biggest day of his life. He just went, okay, I'm through and I've won. But anyway, he won't be saying that in the next round, I think, because I think Ethan Quinn will beat him. Baez is going to be playing a qualifier. Lloyd Harris. Let's go with Lloyd to win that one, friend of the show. Let's see if he can get a win in the first round in New York. Baez, hardcourt, New York. Emilio Nava. Nice, there's another All-American affair here for the New York crowd, but Taylor Fritz should dispense of him. Ben Shelton is going to be playing the Peruvian Boozer, which is great to see, but we won't be seeing it for very long because Shelton's going to beat him. Pablo Carreño Busta, excuse me, is going to play, a fellow Spaniard in the form of Llamas Ruiz, but we'll go with Carreño getting a win. Jordan Thompson against Quarantine Mute. Oh, Thompson's not playing great at the moment. Let's go with Mute to get the win there. We'll go with Greek Spore over Manarino. Lehecka over Borna Coric. Coric is feast or famine this year in terms of doing really well at times on the Challenger Tour and then suddenly not doing well. Well, I don't think he'll win that match against Lehecka. We'll go with Echeverri over Carabelli. And we'll go with... I think Carabelli might be a lucky loser, by the way. I'm not sure about that one, but I think so. No, he's in the main draw. What am I talking about? John, shut up. Let's go with Collignon over Laszlo Gera, and we'll go with Casper Ruud. Looked pretty good, didn't he, in the mixed doubles alongside Iga Swiatek earlier this week to emerge the winner over Sebastian Offner. We'll go with Medvedev against his Wimbledon conqueror, Benjamin Bonzi, but boy, oh boy, Medvedev is in a real rut right now. We'll go with Navoni over Giron. Rinderknech over Carballes Baena. Carballes Baena's already signed up for Seville, which is in the second week of the US Open. Probably tells you how confident he is of having a good run in New York. We'll go Davidovich Fokina, though, a Spaniard who loves the North American hard courts, over Shevchenko. We'll go with Darderi over Hijikata. We'll go with Spitz City over Dostanic. We'll go with Schenk to beat Bellucci, and Alcaraz, I think, will possibly drop a set, but ultimately prevail against Riley Opelka. Okay, second round, keep up at the back. We're actually halfway through in terms of matches, and now we're going to pick up the pace when this phone picks up the internet. So, round of 64, also known as round 2. Jannik Sinner, Alexei Popyrin. I think it's a tricky one for Jannik, actually. I could see him dropping a set. Of course, Popyrin beat Djokovic at the US Open last year, as well as winning the Canada Masters 1000 tournament ahead of the US Open. It was a purple patch for him then, and he's getting some wins under his belt right now as well. Of course, I do think he'll win his first round clash. Ultimately, Jannik will prevail, but yeah, it could be 4 sets, but might well be straights. Either way, Jannik, the reigning champion, should progress. I'll see Shapovalov, Mr. Consistency, beating Boo. We'll go with Sonego over Bublik. I also think Sonego is someone who might just frustrate Alexander. We'll go with Tommy Paul over Nuno Borges. Yeah, Tommy's not in the best of shape right now, but I do think he'll beat the Portuguese. We'll go with Musetti over Hallis. It's a nice draw for Musetti because he's really struggling for wins right now, but probably beat the Frenchman there. Of course, Hallis I have beaten Goffin in the previous round, but I think whichever one progresses, probably Musetti will swat aside. Let's go with Jenson Brooksby to upset Caboli. We'll go with Diallo smashing his way past Munar. We'll go Jack Draper to progress as well. Nice draw for him, I think, to get to round 3. Alexander Zverev, I think, will see off Roberto Bautista Agut. We'll go with Felix Auger-Aliassime to beat Roman Safiullin. We'll go with Humbert there. We'll go with Khachanov and Rublev to progress as well. For some reason, Khachanov's opponent is not appearing there. Don't know why. Doesn't matter. He wins either way. Cerundolo as well will have progressing. We'll go Medjedovic to disappoint fans of Stefanos Tsitsipas, as well as Stefanos and, of course, his family. Alex de Minaur will go Djokovic as well. All of these going through to round 3. Let's go with Mickelson winning that All-Americans affair against Sebastian Korda. Tiafoe loves it in New York. He keeps going, as does Holger Rune. We'll go with Mensik over Marajan. Ooh, Fonseca against Mahach. Fonseca. I think he's doing well against opponents such as Mahach. Mahach not the biggest server on tour, and that's some sort of style that Fonseca can struggle with, but I think he's getting wins at Grand Slams. So for those of you shouting at the camera right now, or the computer, or whatever you're watching it on, going, Fonseca's not playing great, you're right, but he is getting wins at Grand Slams, and I expect him to get a couple in New York as well. We'll go with Nakashima to roll on through. We'll go with Taylor Fritz, Ben Shelton, Talon Greeks, or yes, just to beat Mute. We'll go with Lehetska over Echeverry. Casper Ruud, nice draw for him to get to the 3rd round. Oh, not bad for Medvedev either. I think he'll beat Navoni. Devilic Fokina as well will continue his good form. We'll go with Darderi over Spitsiri. And Alcaraz should beat Shang, but that could be a fun encounter. All right, we are well now into the first week, coming up to probably next weekend's matches. Shapovalov, unfortunately, Mr. Consistency, his US Open run will probably come to an end at the round of 32 against Yannick Sinner. Nice draw for Tommy Paul, but how fit is he? Let's go with Sonego to beat the American. Jenson Brooksby to end Mussetti's run, but I tell you what, that is a nice draw to the round of... he could well make the second week despite being in wretched form. Anyway, let's go with Brooksby to win that. That's a good run for him. Jack Draper against Diallo. Diallo to beat the Brit. Zverev to beat Felix Auger Aliassime. We'll go with Rublev over Humbert. We'll go with Khachanov over Cerundolo. de Minaur will beat Medvedev. Djokovic will beat Mickelson, but again, that could be another one. I think Djokovic actually got a tricky first couple of rounds, in my opinion. Or at least 2 of his first 3 matches will be tricky until he gets to the round of 16 at least. Oh, Holger Rune against Tiafoe. Rune, of course, just overcame Tiafoe in Cincinnati, albeit Tiafoe retired hurt in the second set. But yeah, the back problem. Rune to win that one, I think. Let's go with Mensik, the battle of the teenagers, to beat João Fonseca. We'll go with Taylor Fritz beating Nakashima. Taylor Fritz seems to keep playing Americans in this draw. We'll go Ben Shelton over Talon Griekspoor. Ooh, Lehetska or Casper Ruud? Let's go Casper. Former US Open finalist, of course, 2022 with the Norwegian. Ooh, Devilic Fokina to beat Daniil Medvedev in the round of 32, rounding off a miserable Grand Slam season for Daniil. Definitely his worst in probably about 7 years, I would suggest. And Alcaraz to beat Darderi. All right, Sinner to beat his fellow Italian Sonego. That's a no-brainer for me. We'll go with Diallo to beat Brooksby. So Diallo in the quarterfinals. Wow. He's obviously got a nice draw. Zverev to beat Rublev. Ooh, the Mr. Consistencies, the real consistencies. Obviously, Chapeau, I'm joking, really. But Khachanov against de Minaur. Let's go with de Minaur in this one. Let's go with... Ooh, Djokovic Rune. Yeah, Djokovic's draw is tricky. I think the only good thing for Djokovic is that I think he won't be playing Sinner in the semis. But, yeah, let's go Novak. I just think he's got the mentality. Taylor Fritz over Jakub Mensik. Ben Shelton over Casper Ruud. And Carlos Alcaraz over his fellow Spaniard, Davidovich Fokina. So now we are really into the business end of the tournament. Yannick Sinner, nice quarter-final draw for me. That for him. I think he'll end up playing Zverev. We'll have Alcaraz over Shelton. Djokovic or Fritz? I mean, a year or 2 ago, this would have been a no-brainer. We're going to go Djokovic. All right. Pretty boring semi-final lineup. It's exactly the same Oh, no, it's not. We've got 3 of the 4 semi-finalists from Wimbledon and also 3 of the 4 semi-finalists from the French Open. And I think 3 of the 4 semi-finalists from Australia as well. Alcaraz didn't make it to the semis in Australia, though. All right, Sinner to beat Zverev, Alcaraz to beat Djokovic, and Yannick Sinner to retain his US Open crown. Just call me Nostradamus. Get in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe. Check out the Talking Tennis merchandise. What else? Become a member. Whatever. And yeah, see ya. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.